Welcome to Super Science University Bhagavad-Gita, which only can fulfill any of your wishes and will give you permanent happiness in the end. And it is the permanent solution to any of your problems, the highest, most prime, secret, and the only complete knowledge, which is the source of everything and it answers every possible question. In my last video, when I mentioned spiritual path is difficult, but it will take you ahead of everyone. That's a deep concept to understand. If you have material desires and have that kind of thinking, then you won't understand it. Try to understand in the war of ego, the losers always win. Basically, ego minus human means God, and God plus ego is human. That's the only difference. God means stable or zero mind, and human means unstable or positive and negative mind, like fluctuating. Now the question arises, why do I call this knowledge the most secret? You must have seen thousands of versions of Gita available in the market. So how come I am saying that? Am I being sarcastic here? No, Gita is like a mirror. So a true mirror can only explain the best version of Gita. One mistake in Gita and the whole message of Gita is interpreted wrong. Because it's all connected. And the other reason why I said this to be secret is that a bad person can misuse the powers of this hidden knowledge only if he understood the true meaning of this knowledge and decided to utilize it in a negative way. But even for negative purposes, you must understand it fully. So I would say you can't cheat in an exam if you don't know how to cheat. For misusing Gita as well, you must have the capability of understanding it. But we are so unfortunate that today's man doesn't realize the true value of this knowledge. And even if everything is in front of him, and still he has become blind because of the huge metrics of the society. Society has blinded the man. He's just a slave and has become a rat in the rat race. Even by winning the race, there's no use because he will just be considered a rat. It's a rat race. One more interesting fact is that Osho is world famous. In one chapter of Gita, Osho spent nearly 20 hours and still he couldn't do justice with Gita. And on the contrary part, Swami Adgadanand, whose entire Yatharth Gita is of 20 hours, has given the complete true knowledge of Gita and is the only genuine source left in today's world. Interesting part is that Swamiji is like a hidden treasure. Only a limited amount of people knew him, and even those may not be able to understand him fully. Swami Adgadanand has chosen another person's voice for his Gita, who I can recognize as the narrator of Om Namo Shivaya serial of 1997, available on YouTube, who also is Raja Shatanu in B.R. Chopra's Mahabharat and became Krishna in Mahabharata stories. Shantanu. I'm sorry guys. But why I chose Osho is because humans want entertainment but correct knowledge as well, where Osho failed, and I'm trying my best to correct him, since Osho is my outdated wrong version and Swami Adgadanand is my correct future version. Let's continue from my previous section. Because we Indians are too busy to realize this, we want to spend time with our families, go to temples, watch cricket, get married, do engineering, have kids, and the majority of the Indians are stuck in this cycle. If you check any American college for the study courses, they have so many choices from A to Z. But for Indians that are so big in number, we just got a few choices. So even though Indians are so big in number, but they have limited choices. But the soul is definitely immortal. So I'm continuing with Osho. But we are dishonest. We hear from Krishna that the soul is immortal, and we know very well that we are going to die. We go on saving ourselves. In fact, we recite the lesson that the soul is immortal every day so that we can be sure that we will not die. At least we are assuring that we will not die. We are convincing ourselves with this. Understand the gap between these two levels, where Krishna is standing and where we are standing. And Krishna's words will be meaningful only when you rise to Krishna's level. And please do not bring Krishna to your level. Although that is easy because Krishna cannot do anything. You can take the Gita to whatever level you want, whichever level. Wherever you live, in the dock, in the godown, in the hell, take the Gita there and it will go there. Because I told you it's a mirror. Krishna cannot do anything. So he has given you open choice. Please do not take the ultimate truths of life to the dark caves of life. The ultimate truths of life are known to the peaks only. So they are known on the peaks, the ultimate truths. You too must climb the peaks. Only then will you be able to understand those ultimate truths. Those ultimate truths are just calls, challenges for you to come to this height, where light is light, where soul is soul, where nectar is nectar. But in those dark streets where we live, where there is nothing but darkness, where it seems that no ray of light reaches us, do not extinguish the lamp in your hand on hearing that there is only light. There is no darkness at all. Then when there is only light, then what is the need of this lamp? Blow it out. By extinguishing that lamp, the street will become darker where man is living. There is a difference between violence and non-violence. There is darkness. Where man is living, there is a difference between theft and non-theft. There is darkness. After listening to Krishna, do not blow out this small lamp of your discrimination. Otherwise, only the darkness will become denser. Nothing else will happen. Yes, just try to understand after listening to Krishna. There is a peak of consciousness where there is no darkness, where lighting a lamp is madness, but one has to travel to that peak. We will move slowly on the journey to that peak. How can we reach that peak where life is nectar and where non-violence and violence are childish things? But not where we are. There it is very meaningful. There it is very important. This soul is neither born nor destroyed. It never attains its existence by being born, nor does it ever get pierced by piercing the body parts. It is eternal, everlasting, and ancient. So this is the next part of Bhagavad-Gita. Where we are, whatever we are, everything is born there. Whatever we are familiar with, there is nothing unborn, non-existence. Whatever we have seen, whatever we have known, everything is born, everything dies. But for this purpose of birth and death to be possible, there is someone behind it, behind all this series of deaths and births. Like someone threads a thread on the beads of a rosary. Thread is not visible. The beads are visible. Some unborn thread is needed to thread the long garland of beads of this birth and death. Otherwise, the beads disintegrate. They cannot survive, they cannot stand together. There cannot be any joint between them. From above, it appears to be a garland of beads, but it is not made of beads. The beads rest on the thread which runs through all the beads. So there is a thread which is not visible. So you have to know the thread. That's the reality. But people usually see the beads. They don't go into the depths. So unless and until you dive into the depths of Gita, you won't know the meaning of Gita. So it's just a useless thing for you. Like even if you have a diamond in front of you. If you are illiterate, you have no value of it. So that's the same case.